Long rebound to the Fever. Oh, back Finlay says, don't wait.
Transition defense.
So when Caitlin goes off the ball, typically she comes off a stagger on the weak side. But she comes off a pin down here, wide open.
Bang! And Boston the finish. A delectable dime from Caitlin Clark.
Hines Allen will launch and miss on a 3-ball. Mystics have opened up 0-4 from the floor. Clark, good feed inside. It's Samuelson.
Basketball by Katie Lou Samuelson, and Caitlin on a dime right there.
This will be their third. Caitlin Clark asks for the ball, and that's why.
Clark with the basketball. 9 total points in the game. Sets it back from 3. Knocks it down. Caitlin Clark's second deep shot.
Clark, pull up 3. That one. Caitlin Clark was most recently named Rookie of the Month in the WNBA. The confidence personified by the youngster.
Harrington off the mark as Clark steps into a 3.
Good job by the Dream getting back in transition defense because that's where Kelsey Mitchell likes to strike. Wallace left alone and another triple goes down for Indiana.
Here's Clark pedaling it forward. Clark dipping in, finds Boston beautifully for the finish.
They've scored 10 points off of 6 Fever turnovers, so that's really the difference in the game right now. Clark
Leaning and hitting. Wow.
And all of them are above the break except for one corner triple. Averaging almost 3 per game. Indiana, at least in the fourth quarter, an 8-3 rebounding advantage. Clark pulls, fires, hits, 4-3.
Caitlin Clark has let the game come to her today. She hasn't been forcing things, and this is not an easy shot going to her left.
Banking in on the drive. Really?
It's about being confident in who you are and your ability, and it's not about your competition when you're playing. It's about being confident in who you are.
Caitlin Clark for pull-ups got 16.
Caitlin coming off of a screen, give her just an inch. She just needs to find a way to get a little bit of space.
Here's Clark turning the corner, lays it in. 10 points in the first for Caitlin Clark.
And you'll see it here. Aaliyah Boston just right there. Enough space, forces the switch. Jonquil Jones a really good rim protector, but Caitlin gets
points of 9 of 13 shooting.
And 12 assists now for Seattle.
Clark answers, and that is the first triple of the game.
Here's Clark. Here comes Sabali. Clark drags her out, races in. Clark will lay it home. 22 points.
Sprinkle a little zone in. This is the Atlanta team has the worst field goal percentage in the league. Good coaching move.
Clark turns the corner and gets to the ring. This building is so enticing for Fever fans, for WNBA fans. How they open up holes the other day. I know I'm going to get grabbed. I'm going to get chucked.
Backdoor. Clark lays it in. As she loses Lainey Hamilton. Clark and Lainey Hamilton getting into it a little bit verbally.
just a great cut, backdoor by Caitlin Clark.
Be disciplined. Just 2 personal fouls here through 3 quarters. Dejanay has taken a new step.
Clark lays it in. A little hesitation works.
We've seen Caitlin Clark have success doing this a few times here early in the WNBA season.
The closest the Fever have been since early second quarter. Indiana's battled back within 3. Dangerous pass. It's Clark who's off to the races. And Caitlin Clark pulls the Fever back within 1. 3-point shot a little bit more this year, but Indiana's defense has been really aggressive, forcing the turnover.
Fag Benlay right there makes that play, allows Clark to anticipate.
Futility from 3 for the Sparks, 0 for 9, and Caitlin Clark says, "You're gonna give me the lane, I'm gonna take it." Head up, nobody stops her.
Kelsey Plum combining for 42 of Vegas' 61 points. Clark was able to drive, was away holding on to her eye. Lainey Hamilton dribbles right into that, can't get the 3-pointer. And the 8th rebound for Caitlin Clark. The runner falls off the glass, and Clark's first field goal since...
Washington's missed their first 5 shots of the fourth. Here is Clark turning on the Jets. Clark gets to the rim.
Yeah, I had an old coach back in high school call it organized chaos, meaning being able to play fast but under control.
And here's Clark, who lays it in on the other end. Celeste Taylor was signed about 6 hours ago.
The Indiana Fever, one of the most recognizable franchises in the WNBA, has always represented resilience, growth, and passion for women's basketball. And when we look back at this month's action, it is clear that the Fever's highlights in 11 minutes are more than just a compilation of plays. They are a reflection of the journey, the dedication of players, and the story of a team determined to make its mark. Established in 2000 as part of the WNBA's expansion, the Indiana Fever quickly became a team with a loyal fan base and a reputation for hard work. Their most iconic achievement came in 2012 when they captured the WNBA championship under the leadership of Tamika Catchings, one of the greatest to ever play the game. That legacy remains a guiding light for every player who now puts on the Fever jersey. In this month's highlights, which have been condensed into 11 thrilling minutes of basketball, fans get to relive the energy and excitement of the Fever's journey through a series of intense games, memorable moments, and standout performances. Each second of those 11 minutes captures not just skill and athleticism, but also the spirit of competition that defines the Fever. The month opened with the Fever facing off against some of the toughest teams in the league. Right from the tip-off, it was evident that the players had come prepared. The first few possessions showed aggressive defense, fast transitions, and a hunger to dominate. The crowd, as always, played its part, pushing the players to give their all. One of the standout moments early in the month came when the Fever executed a flawless fast break, starting from a defensive rebound, passing the ball, quick ball movement leading to open threes. The team demonstrated an evolving offensive identity. Defensively, their commitment to stopping opponents was evident in blocked shots, steals, and charges taken. These moments, stitched together in the highlight package, remind fans that defense is just as exciting as offense. Every block and steal was followed by roars from the crowd, proving that effort is always appreciated. Individual brilliance also cannot be overlooked. Certain players emerged as the backbone of the team this month, consistently delivering when it mattered most. Whether it was scoring in double figures, controlling the tempo, or locking down the opponent's best player, their impact was undeniable. These performances not only boosted the Fever's chances in each game, but also added emotional weight to the highlights. Watching a player celebrate after a tough shot, or pump their fist after drawing a foul, connects fans to the raw emotion of basketball. Beyond the court, the Fever's connection with their fans was also a highlight of the month. The post-game celebrations, the autograph sessions, and the smiles exchanged between players and supporters are all part of the bigger picture. The 11-minute highlight video may focus on the action on the court, but behind every shot and every defensive stop are thousands of fans who make the experience meaningful. Their chants, their cheers, and their unwavering loyalty are what keep the team pushing harder. This month also saw media attention growing around the Fever. Analysts highlighted their improvement, social media buzzed with clips of their best plays, and fans across the country began to take notice of the Fever's determination. For a team that has often been underrated, this month's highlights serve as proof that they are here to compete and to entertain. In many ways, the 11 minutes are not just highlights, they are a statement to the league. Another key aspect of this month was the chemistry among the players. Every successful team relies on trust, and the Fever displayed that in abundance. Whether it was the extra pass to an open teammate, the communication on defense, or the encouragement during timeouts, the chemistry was undeniable. Highlights may capture the plays, but behind those plays is a ball.
She's up there with rebounds, up there with steals. And she'll take the first three-pointer and knock it down and treat the fans to that. Getting Indiana going.
Well, I think from the start you saw that they were just ready.
Really good screen by Nia Coffey, and that's something that Nia Coffey does well every time down the floor, is tries to help the continuity of the offense.
Caitlin Clark on the board with a logo 3.
And as Caitlin Clark off of some screening action there by Nelissa Smith, gets an open three-point shot.
Caitlin Clark wants to play faster. Oh, she finds a cutting Boston, and the vision from Clark. She's got 5 assists in just over 5 minutes. Well, she's had everything going here in the first quarter.
Now Clark trying to make something happen behind the back. Backs the basket and gets her first field goal in style.
Curling as a Guma kick. Going right off the window, no good there. We've seen a couple of bunnies on both sides missed thus far. Clark now over the top. Another nice pass, and this one is converted. You just see the touch by the rookie.
Mentioned 7 lead changes, 10 ties. Largest lead for either team has been 7. Clark with the kick out to Samuelson. At the end of the quarter, knocks it down. Birthday against Atlanta on Thursday. She's got 3 threes in this first half.
And you see how Clark draws the 2 players, and that's why she works hard and does her work early before the ball gets inside.
Shy and Parker married in the offseason. Clark catch and shoot, hits a 3. Floor, and it's been the Alyssa.
Refusing to be intimidated, always ready to fight back. Another vital presence was the point guard, whose leadership on the court was as important as her stats. The highlights capture her precision passing, finding teammates in perfect rhythm, and controlling the tempo of the game. In basketball, the floor general is often invisible to casual fans, but when you watch the highlights closely, you see how every play begins with her vision. A bounce pass through traffic leading to an easy layup, or a perfectly timed alley-oop assist, are not just random plays, they are evidence of basketball IQ and trust. These small, but powerful moments gave the Fever their identity this month. Defensively, the Fever had their share of heroes. One center in particular emerged as the anchor in the paint, protecting the rim with authority. The highlight reel shows her blocking shots with timing and force, intimidating opponents who dared to drive into the lane. In one especially memorable play, she swatted away a potential game-tying layup in the final minute, then immediately secured the rebound, sealing the victory. Those are the moments that transform defense into highlights that fans replay again and again. Alongside her, the Wings provided relentless energy, chasing down shooters, diving for loose balls, and turning defense into offense. Every time a steal turned into a fast break layup, the highlights became a reminder that effort creates opportunities. In addition to established players, this month also shone a light on the Fever's younger stars, who are still carving out their place in the league. Their confidence was visible in the highlights, where they fearlessly attacked defenders, knocked down key shots, and celebrated with passion. One rookie in particular made headlines after hitting a buzzer-beater 3, and that clip quickly went viral on social media. For a team trying to build both identity and momentum, moments like these are priceless. They don't just give fans something to cheer about, they give the entire roster a sense of belief. The highlights also reveal the depth of the Fever's bench. In professional basketball, depth often determines how far a team can go in a season, and this month the bench delivered. Players coming into the game provided sparks at the right times, whether by hitting a timely jumper, grabbing an important rebound, or locking down an opposing scorer. Watching the 11-minute compilation, you notice that the team's success wasn't about 1 or 2 players, but about collective contribution. Every player who stepped on the court left an imprint, and that is what makes the month so special. Beyond individual plays, the team's chemistry stood out as one of the biggest highlights. In one sequence, 5 players touched the ball in a span of seconds before finishing with a wide-open 3. The crowd erupted not just because of the basket, but because of the beauty of teamwork. In another sequence, after a player fell hard while drawing a foul, her teammates rushed to pick her up, and the cameras captured the unity. These little details, often overlooked in box scores, are what make highlight reels feel alive with meaning. Another recurring theme in the 11-minute package is the Fever's ability to handle pressure. Several games came down to the final minutes, and the highlights show how composure and execution separated them from their opponents. In one tight contest, the Fever trailed by 4 points with less than a minute left, but back-to-back baskets tied the game, leading to a dramatic overtime victory. That game alone could fill an entire highlight reel, but condensed into a few seconds, it
feel the tension building from the opening tip.
Can we talk about the physicality for a second? 2 players on the Indiana Fever got injured last night by the same player on the Connecticut Sun, and that was J.C. Sheldon. And I tweeted about it. She was playing so reckless. I'm fine with players playing aggressive, but there is a thin line between playing aggressive and playing reckless. When you dive for a ball, you don't land on somebody's leg. She landed on top of Sydney Colson's leg, and her leg got stuck and literally twisted around. Both injuries, both Sydney Colson and Sophie Cunningham, were contact injuries.
Sophie Cunningham went down first with what looked like a deliberate hit. The contact was hard, too hard for what should have been routine basketball. Then Sydney Colson got hurt in another questionable play that had everyone asking what exactly was happening out there. The worst part? J.C. Sheldon was right in the middle of both incidents. playing with the kind of aggressive style that makes your blood boil.
They weren't non-contact. They weren't ACLs. They weren't Achilles. They were contact injuries caused by the same player. And this kind of physicality that the WNBA they brag about. They say it's always been a physical league. That's just the heart of the It's not good basketball. And we've seen so many injuries. Paige Becker's out with a concussion. Rakia Jackson was out with a concussion. All of these injuries are contact plays. We've seen Caitlin Clark last year get chucked to the ground. We saw Angel Reese get clothesline chucked to the ground. The players continue to do it because the refs are allowing them. Why wouldn't you keep doing it if you're a physical player?
Here's where the college history comes into play. Sheldon and Clark had been going at each other since their Iowa versus Ohio State days. Back in college, Sheldon made it worse.
I mean, is that displacement? I think it is.
Oh, and Marina Mabry's going to get ejected. If the officials saw that, Marina Mabry is going to get ejected.
Well, they're going to go and look at it. Look at Mabry. She's got a scar on one side, a scratch on one side of her face, a scratch on the other side. It's not from the game today. I asked her about it. She's always in the mix. There's a lot of contact here. There's a scrape across the face. That's what Clark didn't like.
Clark is standing there holding her eye, clearly the victim of a dangerous play, but the officials are reaching for their whistles. The arena is buzzing with confusion and anger. Fans are pointing at the replay boards, showing the obvious eye poke that started everything. But the refs have their minds made up. They hit Clark with a technical foul for pushing back after getting her eye poked. A technical foul for defending herself after someone poked her in the eye. The decision made absolutely no sense to anyone watching. Clark just scored 32 points in her first game back from injury, and now she's getting penalized for reacting to getting eye poked by the same player who hurt her teammates. The technical foul call sends the wrong message to everyone watching. It tells players that they can go after Clark with dangerous plays, and if she reacts, she'll be the one getting punished. But this eye poke was just the beginning. Marina Mabry was watching all of this unfold, and she was about to take things to a whole different level.
Take another look as we try to figure out what exactly went down. So you see her get hit in the face. JC Sheldon doesn't like that, and everybody on the team doesn't like it. Marina, trying to have her teammates back, pushes her down. You see a little bit of drama all the way around. Tina, Charles, Clark, and Mabry, they received technical fouls. Sheldon received a flagrant 1 foul.
Right after Clark gets that bogus technical foul, Marina Mabry decides to take matters into her own hands in the worst way possible. Clark is still dealing with her eye injury when Mabry comes over and does something that shocked everyone in the arena.
That's what Clark didn't like. And then Mabry came in with a bump.
And Mabry's day is almost assuredly going to be done. But both teams.
This wasn't basketball contact. This was straight up assault. Mabry body checked Clark like this is hockey instead of basketball, sending her tumbling backward onto the court. The hit was so obvious and so unnecessary that even casual fans could see what just happened. Clark hits the floor hard, and you can see the shock on her face as she realizes another Connecticut Sun player just took a cheap shot at her.
And then Marina Mabry comes out of nowhere and chucks her to the floor. Now let's watch this in slow motion. Here, JC Sheldon is guarding Caitlin, swipes her in the face.
71 victory that felt like so much more than just a win. Natasha Howard puts up her 50th career double-double with 16 points and 12 rebounds. Kelsey Mitchell adds 17 points. This was a complete team effort, but everyone knows what really mattered.
A rare miss at the rim for Aaliyah Boston, the league's top field goal percentage shooter in the WNBA, but it's Boston who comes up with the steal and the find to Howard. Clark working on the rookie. Clark on the drive. Hang, shot too strong. There's Howard to clean up.
And Clark working off the ball, comes off the stagger.
Third year in her WNBA in terms of setting up her teammates. Clark behind the back, feed inside. 2 more for Howard.
This wasn't just beating the Sun. This was the Fever proving they won't be bullied, they won't be intimidated, and they protect their own. The victory sends them to their first ever Commissioner's Cup final for the franchise. But more importantly, it sends a message to the entire league about what happens when you target their players.
The Indiana Fever fans were chanting, "Sophie, Sophie." to sell out tonight. She's going to be in the All-Star game tonight just from this one play because she was standing on business. It wasn't a dirty play. It was an intentional foul, and it was meant to send a message. It turned into a scuffle, and I don't think anybody wanted that.
The Fever got their revenge after that brutal May 3rd.
Comes up with a steal. The veteran off to the races. Directing traffic. Clark hitting Boston. Boston fakes and lays it in. Sidestepping two is off. Rebound Cardoso, had it stripped away. Her passing and the way that makes her a threat from so many different places on the floor. Clark, little mid-range is good. The quarter, Caitlin Clark, 12 in the half. Scan the QR code to get the app and catch these must-see matchups live. Oh, great fake from Boston, who lays it in. Second quarter.
She's been showing off all her moves. Fake handoff. Go ahead and drive left for the easy one.
7 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists for Clark, who's also been credited with 3 blocks. Mitchell overcooked it.